Sorry, I got cut off. So that was my fear, being in the dementia and dealing with death and dying. How was I going to handle families? How was I going to handle a patient knowing that they were dying? How was I going to handle getting close to a patient and having them pass? How was I going to handle those emotions? It was really scary to me. And within the first month, I loved the dementia unit that was secure. I felt comfortable. My field advisor was fantastic, brought me down, introduced me to patients, introduced me to the staff. It made me feel comfortable. I, was online. I did some research about dementia. What is dementia? The types of dementia. I did a lot of observing in the very beginning, so kind of sitting in what we have a day room where most of the patients kind of hang out, activities are, meals are, just to kind of get to know the patients. What are their triggers? How do they handle conflict? Weather changes, the time of day. And just by observing and kind of jumping in, I just felt a lot more comfortable. It was kind of one of those things. It was one of those fears, but I had to kind of take control of it and get my feet wet, jump right in, and it worked. Dealing with death and dying, it has taken me a long time. Basically the whole entire 7-month internship. But I'm starting to feel comfortable. I understand that, it's okay to have feelings when a patient passes. It's okay to be sad, and to even show the families, that you are sad for their loved ones passing in. I think they appreciate it to know that you cared for their loved one, that you had feelings. So that is becoming easier. I don't know if you can ever say that dealing with death and dying is easy, but I have to say it's gotten less scary. It's gotten easier. And watching patients die is still difficult. It's still hard to walk into a patient's room knowing that they're maybe on their last breath, or a patient that you've gotten to know that was verbal, could communicate, could joke with you, could go around in their wheelchair, and now is bedbound and can't even open their eyes and can't speak. It's difficult, and I definitely think that doing the self-care exercises have been helpful. There are some times I go in my car and I cry. I have like a 10 to 15 minute ride home, and I've learned that, from being 7 years in the field as a caseworker, is I sometimes have to take that time on my way home, put my music up and cry. And then when I, get home, that's it. I don't deal with the emotion anymore. I am done. And that kind of helps me to self-care a little bit. And, also fitness. I, work out. I lift weights with my husband. That also helps. So I guess my question for this week is, what have been some of your fears that you've dealt with the past almost 16 weeks? And have you overcome any of those fears, or have you been more comfortable with any of the fears than you were 7 months ago? I look forward to hearing from everybody, and sorry that it's 2 separate videos.